Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Friday the 8th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day. Got up this morning fairly early, nothing like puppy early, but got up and got around, got a couple things taken care of, had myself a Weimaraner that I've been watching, got it yesterday. Super, just obsessed with playing fetch. That's all that dog gives a damn about. And holy crap, he's also noisy as shit. Like if you leave the house, come back in, and he just barks his head off. He sounds super aggressive, but he's not aggressive. He's just noisy, and it just, the owners seem to think that's great. I don't, because then it just gives off the wrong impression of how the dog's gonna behave, and it can really spiral out of control with other dogs that do pick up that barking as a sign of aggression, and they can escalate real quickly. But they don't interact the dog with any other dogs ever, so they don't see a problem with it. So we'll see. I've got a couple more dogs coming today. We'll see how all that works out. But got around, got him outside, played a little bit of fetch, ended up hopping in the hot tub, got myself, basically tried to suck my muscles, lay my back and stuff to loosen up and whatnot. I seem to do better days I get in the hot tub when I start the day off. Some days I don't have time. Some days I skip the hot tub, and then there for almost 2 months I couldn't get in the hot tub because of that damn motorcycle wreck. So it really kind of built up at that point. But went ahead, headed back in. My wife had gotten up finally when I got out of the hot tub, went in, chatted with her a little bit, hung out in the room, basically had herself just kind of, as she's getting ready for work stuff, she's also packing up, getting ready to go out to Teddy's house, which is another dog we watch on the golf course. So she went ahead, headed out to work. I had some groceries I was taking out there to her, some frozen food and some milk and that just general stuff there. So went ahead, she headed out to work. I hung around with the dogs for a while, just kind of get them chilled out, played with that dog, and just played fetch all day. The dog is really bad about, they never taught the dogs to drop the ball, so you have to literally, the dog puts the ball by your feet, you lean down to pick it up, the dog jumps in and almost bites your hand or foot, and then gets the ball and then runs off back 2 feet. And I'm just knock it off, man. And I'm just it's so stupid. So basically it was a lot of, no, I'm not gonna fall for your trick of haha, I took it from you. It's a stupid game you play with a baby child, they'd act like they're gonna get something like your brother, type thing would do to you. And I'm not doing it. So he started finally learning that he could just eventually he would drop it, throw it kind of thing, but he could get 100 times more throws in if he would just walk up and drop the damn ball, but he doesn't. So I got to the point now where I've been teaching him that I'm just gonna ignore him 100%. I won't look at him, won't pet him, won't nothing until either, if he wants to pet him, he wants to at the ball, fine, but if his head's down to the ball, nope, won't touch him at all. But once he drops the ball, he has to back up to the edge, he has to get off the deck. So he has to back all the way off my deck before I reach down and pick up the ball, the toy, the whatever I'm going to throw for him. And that took a little while, but he's learning that. So went ahead, got a couple of things done. Had another little dog coming, a little tiny pug beagle mix thing, and I think it should be called a bug. It's a beagle pug. It should be a bug by far, but they're calling it a puggle. I don't know what the hell, but it's they came over and stuff. Dog got here. He was super happy in the house. He was just chilling out. Little wanted to go back to the owners just a little bit. He wants to be around people all the time. So went ahead and he kind of basically got him past the gate. Got the gate shut. Owners took off. Chilled out a little bit. Once I got him outside, he played with the Weimaraner for a couple minutes. The Weimaraner didn't care about it. He didn't really care about the ball. Didn't give a damn about the puggle at all. So went ahead, basically hung out there for a good chunk of the day, because a good chunk of the morning, I guess, technically. Decided I needed to head over to go walk Teddy, because basically I walk Teddy in the middle of the day when my wife's at work, and then she walks in the morning when she gets up, and then at night when she gets off work, then I walk in the morning, and then they kind of hang out. And the dog's got some health issues. We've had little problems here and there, so we were definitely, and during the midday, and a lot of times it's been so hot, the last few times we go there, he hasn't been able to get very long walks in and stuff, so we've been working on that whole thing as well. So went out, walked him, everything went fine there, stopped basically on the way back, got a couple of things I had to get done. From there, I was as I left Teddy's, I decided to run on up to Sam's Club, because it's already I'm not quite halfway, but close to halfway to Sam's Club. So I ran to Sam's Club, got a bunch of vending stuff I needed, went ahead and got some stuff for the house I wanted and needed. Went ahead from there. As I was pulling into Sam's Club, I got a text dog request from one of my former customers, and ironically with the same name as the dog that's coming later today, but completely different dog. It's an actual pug, not a pug beagle mix, but actual pug. And I basically replied back, I'm they wanted to drop the dog off at 2, and this would now have been 1 o'clock or so, probably in that ballpark range, a little bit before 1. And I said, I can happily watch the dog. I just cannot be certain I can be home by 2. It might be a little bit after. And 3 o'clock would be the absolute latest. I'd have to be there and stuff. Because most times it's not that big a deal. And they came back and said, is there any, any quicker and stuff? And I said, I don't know. I'm like, what's going on? She said the mother-in-law was headed to the hospital, like Miami, whatever, and they're heading out. And I said, well, I'm actually out of town right now, so I cannot help you. But if you want to, you can just give me an address, and I'll swing by your place and pick the dog up on the way back in town, and then you guys can just leave like right now. You don't have to worry about none of it. I said, or the other option, like I even offered the first time, was the second I'm heading back home from Sam's Club, I'll text you and be like, hey, GPS says I'll be there in, 25 minutes or 35 minutes or what the hell it happens, and I'll keep you updated, meet you at the house there, and you guys can then take off right from my place, kind of thing. But I think me picking that dog up at their house would have been by far the easiest and best idea for them. But then it turned out, I guess, her credit card was canceled on the one she used on the app. It was a pain about there, back and forth, and I tried to call her a couple times to explain to her what was going on. And she was like, no, the hell, we're just going to take the dog with us and stuff. And it's not like I don't know what's going on, but it's not like it was like an immediate panic. Like the mother's actively dying right now or something, so I don't really know what, or mother-in-law, I guess, but it is what it is. So I thought I was going to have a second dog named Cosmo, but I'm not. So went ahead, I was like, well, that kind of sucks, but now that the dog's taken off with him, I don't have to rush as much, because I was going to just kind of rush straight back home and get it done. And I theoretically could have just turned around right then and head home, but I would have to drive back to Sam's Club, and I was like, it's not your life, I understand things happen and stuff, but, and it sounded like even if I would have drove back home, they would have wanted to leave before the 25 minutes it would take me to get home, so wouldn't have done me any good. I would have just wasted a trip back home with no nothing for it, kind of thing. So went ahead, said heck with that, went in there, got my shopping done. I didn't linger around, but I got things done. Left there, I went over to go get fuel at Sam's Club. Sam's Club has cheaper gas, and I thought, hey, no big deal, let's grab some there. And I pulled out of Sam's Club, and holy crap, I got here midday, or mid-morning, I guess. It's like 1 o'clock or midday, as opposed to my, before they opened to get fuel with the bonus hours, I pay extra money to be able to go in early. And holy crap, man, there was like 12 cars backed up on every line. It's one way in and out, and people things aren't quite wide enough. They got like 2 pumps in front of each other, and they're staggered across it back and forth. But they didn't give enough gap to really get through it very easily. So unless both cars pull up right tight up against their fuel tanks, the fuel fillers, if the car in front is taking longer than the car in the back often can't get in because people don't pull up close enough. They leave their cars cockeyed and stuff. And now you're both just balking on traffic. It's just, they really, when it starts getting busy like that, they need to bring a tenant out and tell them, hey, straighten your car up, pull your car in, whatever. And it's ridiculous. I remember a couple years ago during the hurricane, and it's only one way in. You can only basically head south, and it's only you can drive south in there. And all the things with my side of the pump on my truck was, blocked up like 8-10 cars deep. And the other side, passenger side one, was completely empty. And I was like, okay, you have like 6 or 8 pumps that are completely empty on the opposite side. Just what the hell kind of thing. And my truck is long wide enough, the hose won't reach over. So I just said, hell, then I pulled up, backed myself in, and she's like, you only had to go that direction. I'm like, I am going that direction. So I just backed my truck through going south and just backed all the way into the parking lot and stuff. I backed around the parking lot and just completely back there. I'm like, I am going south. I'm like, now if you want to try and give me a ticket for not having proper headlights, you're welcome to, man. But right now there's like 8 to 12 cars backed up every line, and I'm getting fuel. So every once in a while we can break a rule. It sets me out here going, nope, this is a 2-way lane now or something. You can change this because this is hurricane time. Shit happens. So she was madder than hell. She goes, when you leave, I said, I'm going to keep on going south. Don't worry about it, man. I'm perfectly fine here. I know how to back. You got to back out of here. I'm like, I am. I've backed since I was a child. I've backed trailers. I've backed everything. I'm good, man. I'm going to be perfectly fine. I'll back around this whole damn parking lot here. Won't care a bit. So I left. I backed out. I backed off completely all the way off Sam's Club property, all the way out to the road, and then drove away. So she couldn't say shit about I was going the wrong direction at any point. And she was just, I couldn't tell if she was pissed or impressed that I didn't hit nothing. I couldn't really tell which. I think it was a little bit of both, but so I went ahead and I looked at that. I'm like, I'm not waiting in that line. I'm not going to get the argument again. It's not worth it. I'm like, I just don't care. So I just left and said, deal with it. Drove on back. Had enough fuel to get back home, obviously. Drove back home. Had to swing by and get a money order for paying my sales tax and whatnot. So I stopped there, got it. Stopped in up New Smyrna, grabbed some fuel, and paid like 13 cents a gallon more because Sam's is that much cheaper than New Smyrna is. New Smyrna is higher than La Place anyway. But it is what it is. And I was like, you know what? Don't give a shit. I got 13 cents a gallon money. I'm doing well enough not to sit in that line for 35 minutes for 13 cents. So got my money order, got my fuel, got home, and was still home by like 2. was it 250, something like that, 245, something like that ballpark range, pulled up him. And so I was there by 2:30. I was there by 2:30. I remember thinking if I would have not stopped for fuel and the money order, they would have had to, it would have been by 2:10, and that's when they wanted to meet, was 2 o'clock. So I was like, okay, cool, no big deal. Didn't work. It still sucks. I wasn't able to help them out with the dog, but again, with the hospital, they can't all go wait in the waiting room and stuff because of the fact that it's COVID times. You guys can't. I don't know if they'll be able to see this person, which is one of those things I tell people all the time. Is like, hey, say the shit you want to say now. Don't wait for somebody's deathbed because they might die quickly. And you won't get there. So anything you have to say to them now. But who knows? Hope they got there. Hope they made it. Hope everything's great. It just is what it is. And I guess somebody else is going to sit in the car with the dog while they're, inside seeing the mother-in-law, whatever the heck's going on. So it is what it is there. But got back there to the house. Of course, the Weimaraner's just barking at his ass off like a jerk. So I got him calmed down. Got them outside, let them full bottle and stuff, hung around there, and then it started raining. And I was like, "Come on, damn it!" So now we're stuck in the house, and it's never great when it's raining. Because the dogs would be outside, they can play better and whatnot. Had another dog come over. It's a big giant doodle that came over named Cosmo, and he's just, oh my god, he's so clumsy and so lovable and just annoying at the same time. He's like, he just bumps into shit, runs into chairs, and just slams into you and just tries to trip you. Just not just because he just wants to be up against, he just wants to be with you all the time. He's this giant Muppet looking dog. He's the greatest thing ever, but oh my god, he's just annoying. He's the one I can't watch more than probably 5 days anymore, because I think I watched him 7 days a while back, and it was too much. Like, it was just literally too much at that length. I needed at least a day off in that scenario. So, but I went ahead, knew he was coming. Started raining. I'm like, I better get my run in, just get it done, because I don't know how those dogs are going to get along. So the sooner I get my run in before the new dog, because the dogs I have now are getting along fine. So I went and got my run in. It was raining pretty good, raining pretty hard. It rained hard a couple times today. But went ahead, got my run in. She texted me as I was on my run. I'm like, okay, cool. She said it's on her way. I said, I'm out for a run, but I'll be back home before you get to my house. So we should all be 100% go. So I got done my run, got back to the house. Kind of cut my run a little bit short. Hung around in the house a little bit, soaking wet, and then the AC on makes it always a little bit chilly. Waiting for her to get there. The dog got there, and I told my mother, I'm like, hey, you need to at least sit down on the couch or go get in your room, because these dogs, I don't know how they're going to play, I don't know how they're going to react. And the Weimaraner has got a lot of energy. The Doodle's got a lot of energy. The little Puggle here is, he's trying to be aggressive, like he thinks he's tough. So it can get where they start playing pretty rough, they start spinning around, they can break some stuff or knock your ass down and break your hip or who knows what type thing. So I sent her she decided to go to her room instead of sitting down. Dogs came in, put him outside before I brought the new Doodle in. Put him out there, and it was raining, but it wasn't raining hard, so I was able to let him I was like, yeah, it's not gonna work. So I had him in the back porch, not fully outside, but on the back porch area there. So I brought him back in the house and basically let them start playing, and they got along. There was a little bit of ground because the Weimaraner is just noisy as shit. He's all like trying to be all aggressive, but it's just, I think, mostly just from the owners allowing him to bark and like just be noisy all the time. It just sucks because I'm like, knock it off, because other dogs picking this up as aggression, but they finally settled down. Everything got good. I put the Doodle in the bedroom with me, took my shower, got myself cleaned up, went ahead, knowing that Karen was going out to stay at Teddy's tonight. I had basically just leftovers. Asked Mom if she wanted any Sloppy Joe leftovers. She said she didn't. I don't know what. So she ended up eating peanut butter and jelly. So I said, well, you're on your own then, because this is what I'm eating, and I'm not making a whole new meal. So I don't know what she had. I asked her at the store the day if she wanted like lunch meats and stuff, and she said no, she didn't. She was doing whatever she's doing. So hey, she's kept herself alive this many years, so she can keep herself alive now too. So went ahead, had a Sloppy Joe leftovers, and there's that weird thing, like it's not really enough to make another meal out of it, and that weird little bit left over, so I ended up dumping it on my plate and was not able to eat it all. So I ended up throwing away a little bit, which does annoy me, but I like it a lot better to throw it away as I'm like completely stuffed full of eating every ounce of food I could possibly stuff in my belly, as opposed to 2 days later I'm kind of hungry, or a week later I'm kind of hungry, looking and going, it's not enough to make a meal, now I'll throw it away. So at least I got that part, I felt less annoyed by that than other times. So went ahead and got that taken care of. After that, the rain finally cut back a little bit, so it kind of stopped, and then I was able to go outside, chill out there a little bit, had myself a cigar. Karen got out Teddy's, got that, everything went fine, and they got a weird drippy sound, and like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's in the chimney type thing area, she sent me a little video of it. It's like just like water dripping. I don't know if the storm knocked something over. We don't know. So started to send that video over to the homeowners and let them know what's going on in case there is like a leak, like a maintenance guy or something to inspect it and trying to figure out what's happening. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.